peculiar cases, but it's hard to say.
Well, your old friend is gone, you'll be sorry to hear.
Who?
Father Flynn.
Is he dead?
Well, Mr. Cotta here just told us. He was passing by the house. The youngster and he were great friends. The old chap taught him a great deal.
God have mercy on his soul.
I wouldn't like children of mine to have too much to say to a man like that.
How do you mean, Mr. Cotter?
What I mean is, it's bad for children. My idea is, let a young lad run about and play with young lads of his own age, and not be... Am I right, Jack?
That's my principle too. Let him learn Jukebox's corner. Why, when I was a nipper, every morning of my life I had to take a cold bath. Education is all very fine and large.
But why don't you think it's good for children, Mr. Cotter?
It's bad for children because their minds are so impressionable. When children see things like that, you know, it has an effect. In a better world now.
Did he... peacefully?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Quite peacefully. You couldn't tell when the breath went out of him. He had a beautiful death, God be praised.
And everything...
Father O'Rourke was in with him on Tuesday, and anointed him and prepared him and all.
He knew then.
He was quite resigned.
He looks quite resigned.
That's what the woman we had in to wash him said. She said he just looked as if he was asleep. He was that peaceful. No one would think he'd make such a beautiful corpse.
Yes, indeed. Well, Miss Flynn, at any rate, it must be a great comfort for you to know that you did all you could for him. You were both so very kind to him.
Poor James. God knows we've done all we could, as poor as we are, and we wouldn't see him want anything while he was in it. There's poor Nanny. She's wore out. All the work we had, she and me, getting in the woman to wash him, laying him out, and then the coffin, and then arranging about the mass in chapel. Only for Father O'Rourke, I don't know what we'd done at all.
Indeed, that's true. And I'm sure that now that he's gone to his eternal reward, he won't forget you and all your kindness to him.
He was no great trouble to us. You wouldn't hear him in the house any more than now. Still, I know he's gone and all that.
It's when it's all over that you'll miss him.
Poor James.
The Lord have mercy on his soul.
He was too scrupulous always. The duties of his priesthood were much too great for him. And then his life was, as you might say, crossed.
Yes, he was a disappointed man. You can see that.
It was the chalice he broke. That was the beginning of it. Of course, they say it was all right, that it contained nothing. But still, they say it was the boy's fault. But poor James was so nervous. God be merciful to him.
And was that it? I heard something else.
That affected his mind. After that, he began to mope by himself, talking to no one and wandering about by himself. So, one night, he was wanted to go on a call and they couldn't find him anywhere. They looked high up and down and still they couldn't see a sight of him anywhere. So then the clerk suggested to try the chapel. So they got the keys and opened the chapel, and the clerk and Father O'Rourke and another priest that was there brought in a light to look for them. And what do you think? But there he was, sitting up by himself in the dark of his confession box, wide awake and laughing like softly to himself. Wide awake and laughing like softly to himself. So then, of course, when they saw that, that made them think that there was something gone wrong with him. Stage command.
I'm a natural at this.
I have my own theory about it.